This fire had the potential to injure or kill more people than any other fire I've ever been involved in. We had 192 vulnerable people in that building.
A major fire that destroys a building, a long-term care building, we've never had anything of that size.
When I arrived, I was the first officer on scene, and it was just mass chaos.
The first thing I noticed was the amount of smoke, the phenomenal amount of smoke coming out of the north building.
A very, very significant sized fire. Lots of smoke.
It was a heavy, dark smoke, and it was very thick too. It looked very toxic.
The smoke was all over. You know, it was like it was foggy, you know, for blocks around the facility.
An impact beyond just that building, but the entire community. Typically we have 3 trucks responding and our platoon chief, and as soon as we realized what was happening, we called in additional vehicles. The fire, as we were able to determine, was in the attic area, and it was difficult for us to get to. It was between 2 roofs. The existing roof from 50 or 60 years ago and the roof that they built on top of the existing roof.
It was very evident that the smoke had gotten into the ventilation systems and everyone was inhaling the smoke from the fire and that everyone needed to get out.
Firefighters were on the roof. They were taking the stone saws and metal saws and cutting holes in the roof. I saw Jessica Park as I was walking towards the building over here. I went up to her. First thing I said is, "What do you need done?" She says, "We're moving all the people, evacuating everybody out of the building." And at that point, we just started to escort everybody with staff out of the facility with wheelchairs and beds and anybody that could walk holding onto them.
The age of our residents is up there. It's mid-80s to late 80s. Many have dementia. Many were some of them were bedridden. Some of them were in wheelchairs.
And so we knew that it was paramount that when we were evacuating the people that we were really paying attention to where they were going and who we were dealing with.
We started to go room by room, floor by floor, going through, pushing through to make sure we never left anybody behind, checking every nook and cranny for somebody with dementia or another ailment. You could see the smoke billowing through all the windows. At certain corridors we couldn't even walk down anymore because the smoke had infiltrated so deep into the facility.
It was a really massive effort.
To evacuate that many people in that short a time is quite a feat.
Everybody was working together. Everybody had certain functions to fulfill, but everybody would assist whenever possible with all the other agencies.
It taxed all of our resources. We had to call in Oshawa and Ajax Fire as well, and they were fantastic. DRPS and fire and EMS were on scene. Transit was there, it played a huge role. Red Cross, Salvation Army was there. We had the Ability Center for evacuees to go to. We had social services. We had Durham Emergency Management Office. The church next door was fantastic for housing people there. We had so many agencies, I can't even places like Mr. Sub made subs for us and brought them over. It was really an amazing event for the community to be involved in and help, as well as all the people that came in and were offering to drop off clothing and food and supplies for everybody, just people that lived in the area.
Everybody worked together, whether you were a resident or an emergency responder or staff member.
The role of the police and the fire and the other agencies freed the staff to really focus on the evacuation process itself and also on being with the residents. We were dealing with a very vulnerable population. It was quite amazing what happened.
The potential was there for it to be very serious, but because of the service of so many different people and especially the staff at the residence, the impact was significantly minimized.
When I went in that door over there to my right, I met a staff member over there who said we actually trained for this all the time, but I never thought the day would come we would actually have to use it and evacuate everybody.
I feared the worst, and I was so relieved when I found out that everyone was safely out.
192 of our most vulnerable citizens were evacuated safely on October 27th, and there were no injuries to the residents or to the staff.
To have all of those people evacuated was remarkable, and is a true testament to the men and women that were working there that day. I think it's very fitting that this year's theme is Durham Strong, because the fire that we all experienced in October at Fairview Lodge shows how various people and agencies in the community pulled together in a time of crisis. Everybody involved was a true hero that day.